In this video, I will address a few common issues and how to handle them if they ever pop up for you. First and foremost, make sure you always read through the instructions of every Instant Pot recipe in its entirety before starting. It is so easy to overlook an important step and mess up a recipe. A lot of mistakes can be salvaged, but not everything. So start with making sure that you read through and understand every part of the instructions before you start. Something you might ask yourself is, why does it take my Instant Pot so long to heat up? The time leading up to actual cook time may seem long and even confusing, like what is going on in there? But it's an important part of the process. Just know that your Instant Pot is working on building up the appropriate amount of pressure that it will be cooking the food at. It handles liquids and solids differently, and it also handles fresh and frozen differently. So the time can vary. Most recipes take between 10 and 25 minutes to build up pressure. And here are some pasta and rice tips. When you are cooking long, skinny noodles such as spaghetti, use fork tines to separate the uncooked noodles before putting the lid on the pot. Also, don't stir the pasta or rice after adding it to the pot, or it may settle on the bottom and burn. And speaking of burn, sometimes you might see the burn notice pop up. If you do see that dreaded burn notice on your Instant Pot, try not to worry. This does not mean that you have to throw your meal away. Know that your pressure cooker is keeping a close eye on your food, and it has sensed that the temperature toward the bottom of the pot is too high and has therefore turned it off temporarily. It is giving you a chance to fix the problem. So this can happen especially with thick sauces or chilies because of the heaviness of the contents of the pot. It can also happen if there's not enough liquid in the pot. If you see the burn notice, press cancel as soon as possible. Do an immediate quick release and wait for the silver float valve to drop. Transfer the inner pot to a hot pad holder and scrape any bits of food that may have adhered to the bottom of the pot using a spoon. If there are no burned bits, add half a cup of liquid to the recipe that will thin out the consistency. If the recipe contains beef, vegetable, or chicken broth, add more of the same. If no broth is used in the recipe, add water. Next, stir the contents of the pot thoroughly and resume cooking. If you do see burned pieces in the mixture, pour the contents into a saucepan and clean out the pot using soap and water, making sure any charred pieces of food are removed from the bottom of the pan. Remove visible pieces of burnt food and pour the contents back into the pot. Add a half of a cup of liquid to the recipe, stir the contents thoroughly, and resume cooking. Here are some tips to prevent the burn notice from appearing at all. First, stir heavy sauces or soups just before placing the cover on the pot for cooking. You will want the heaviest ingredients toward the top in order to ensure they don't stick to the bottom and burn. Second, make sure your pot contains enough liquid. Add extra broth if it is already an ingredient in the recipe. If the recipe does not contain a thin liquid, for example, a recipe that requires a trivet or a steamer basket, add 1.5 cups of liquid to the bottom of the Instant Pot before cooking. And third, I do not own an 8-quart Instant Pot, but from what I have read and heard, this size is much quicker to burn than the 6-quart version. The 8-quart Instant Pot may require more liquid than the 6-quart does. Another issue that you may encounter on occasion is seeing liquid shoot out of the steam release handle. This can occasionally happen when the contents of the pot are starchy or have become too hot or are foaming inside. If this happens, carefully set the valve back to sealing and wait 5 minutes before attempting another quick release. These are the main issues that I've encountered using my Instant Pot, so hopefully this helps you to be able to troubleshoot any complications that come up for you.